Jamie Dornan moved by the most painful question of his career, but also the most beautiful. The camera flashes, panning the room one last time before opening. This is a special interview with Jamie Dornan, the Northern Irish actor who has gone through the motions of public life, from photoshoot star to leading man to husband and father. He steps onto the stage with a discreet smile, bows to the audience, and sits down on a grey cloth chair in the middle of the night. Surrounding him is the interview setup: microphone, soft lighting, and a small audience, a few dozen people, including a few invited children. When the reporter introduces the show, "We're delighted to have Jamie here today to talk about the past year, his new projects and his personal views." There's silence. Then the reporter says, "Now, we'd like to open the Q&A with the audience. Can someone start the questions?" From the back of the room, a girl of about 9 or 10, wide-eyed, bewildered, and with a slightly shaking hand, raises her head. The MC asked the girl to stand. She tiptoed towards the reporter and looked at Jamie. "Uncle, why does everyone hate you?" The question rang out like a bell in the room. Why does everyone hate you? There was a slight silence for a few seconds. Jamie frowned slightly, the expression of someone surprised. All the cameras stopped. The audience held their breath. He looked at the girl, his smile slightly sad. Then he paused for a moment, nodded, and replied softly. "Thank you for asking such a question. You know, people don't necessarily hate me. But I understand why some people feel that way. Because they see my image, on the screen, in the newspapers, and they think, he's a famous person. He has everything. He must be different from us. He must be perfect. And when I do something wrong, when I let someone down, they feel betrayed. When I'm silent, when I don't respond, when I don't see anyone other than the camera, they feel abandoned." Jamie looked deeply at her, and his voice grew softer, as soft as the autumn wind. "I used to hate myself too, because I was the one caught between the applause and the lights, and the real me was sometimes not the same as the movie me. I used to think, if I was famous, I would be loved. But I learned the opposite. Being famous doesn't make people love you more, sometimes it makes them distance themselves from you. Because they imagine someone else, not the real one. And when the real one appears, they are disappointed." The girl looked at Jamie intently. The audience in the room was silent. Jamie continued. "So if you ask, why do people hate me? My answer is, they don't really hate, they're disappointed, or they're afraid. They're afraid that being famous like me is a big rock in the middle of the road, that people have to go around, that they can't maintain a close relationship. They're afraid that we're not like them, and so we're strangers. When I understood that sometimes people don't hate, they just see distance, then I started to change." Jamie paused, and his eyes glistened with a little moisture. "You know, the greatest gift I ever received was not a famous role, but the moment when someone said to me, 'I understand you.' When someone said, 'I see you as a normal person,' that was when I felt accepted, not just seen. And from that moment on, I stopped worrying about people hating me. I just tried to make someone understand me. And if one person understood, then I won." The whole room seemed to explode in a warm feeling. The little girl smiled. Her eyes seemed to light up. There was a soft applause, just a few people at first, then widespread. I recounted the entire interview, from the moment after the question to the spread. Mysterious moment. After Jamie answered, the reporter did not rush to continue with the traditional question. The MC asked, "Little girl, do you want to say more?" The girl was shy but nodded, then said, "Well, I liked you since I saw the movie, but I read online that people criticized you, said you were cold, so I wanted to ask why." Jamie smiled, his voice soft like a lullaby. Thank you. The good thing is, when you say that people can be anyone, a stranger, a friend online, a classmate. They can say something because they're sad, because they're disappointed with someone, not with you. And if there's ever a time when I let him down, like not picking up the phone, like not coming home from filming, like not listening to my wife, that's my fault. I'm sorry for making someone feel that way. And today, standing before you, I want to say, I will try, even every day, to do better. Media coverage. After the interview, the short clip, the girl's question and Jamie's response, was filmed by viewers on their phones and posted on social media. Within hours, it went viral. Fans shared, commented, and expressed their emotions. One wrote, "It's unbelievable. A big star like Jamie would talk to a little girl like that, so humble." The girl's question made Jamie open up so much. I was moved. The post began to post, Jamie Dornan, the answer that broke my heart. Small articles and blogs began to analyze, why are celebrities sometimes hated? And why do honest words have such great power? Jamie reflects on himself. In the next part of the interview, the adult part, Jamie was asked, "Do you think you've ever been disliked?" He paused, then said, "Yes, at least I think I've been misunderstood. I've played criminals, I've played cold men, I've played people who seem powerful. I understand why some people feel, oh, he must be like that in real life. And when I'm not, I'm wrong or I don't say anything, they ask, why? And if I don't answer, they fill that question with assumptions." He continued, "I've always struggled with myself, not to be pigeonholed into a certain image. I want to be myself in real life. I want to be the dad who comes home, the friend who can talk, the person who can laugh and cry. I want people to see that I have sadness, I have fear, I have a desire to be understood." What it means for audiences. Audiences later shared that they felt closer to Jamie. Children asked their parents, "Is Uncle Jamie a bad person?" And parents used the clip to answer, "No, Uncle Jamie is just like us, just famous." A kindergarten teacher complained, "My daughter said, Uncle Jamie looks a little mean, but when I asked him, he said something different." And the teacher laughed, "It's a great lesson for kids. Don't judge people based on how they look or what they hear." Jamie and the new promise. At the end of the interview, Jamie shared with her and the entire audience, "From today on, I want every time someone looks at me, they see, this person is trying to understand this person better. This person is trying to do better for their family. This person wants to be heard and talked to. If I can do that, then hopefully there will be fewer people saying, 'I hate you,' and more people saying, 'I understand you.'" He stood up, reached out to shake her hand. The audience immediately applauded. The girl blushed, looking at Jamie as if he were a superhero. Why did the story go viral and create such strong emotions? There are a few reasons why this moment, fictional but real, became so powerful and viral. The contrast between celebrity image and genuine moment. Jamie Dornan is an idol, a movie star. People are used to seeing him in the spotlight, professional, acting, posing. But here, he stands in front of the girl, not flaunting his power, not hiding his emotions, and talking about the fear of being misunderstood. That simplicity makes the audience feel sad. The innocent but profound question, "Why do people hate me?" sounds simple, but it has many layers of meaning: hatred, misunderstanding, social isolation, and loneliness. When a celebrity faces this question and answers sincerely, the wall separating celebrities from ordinary people is broken. The power of honesty. When Jamie says, they don't necessarily hate me. They're just disappointed or scared. It's an explanation, not an excuse. It's sincere, not defensive. It makes the listener feel understood, and so it's powerful. The structure of viral media. A question, an answer, a phone video, it goes viral. It's picked up by newspapers, analyzed by blogs, and shared by audiences. In the digital age, a moment like this, a celebrity opening up, is shared because it's different from what's usually seen. A moment of hope. Ultimately, it offers hope that in the midst of fame, in the midst of distance, there can still be real connection. That celebrities can be close to us. And when we ask, they can answer. Interview development and aftermath. After the interview, let's assume the situation continues as follows. On social media, the hashtag why I don't hate Jamie appears. Fans use it to share moments when they were skeptical about Jamie and why they changed their minds. For example, I used to think Jamie was cold, but this answer changed my mind. This clip made me look at celebrities in a different way. Media. International press wrote, Jamie Dornan, from a hated star to someone understood, and analyzed fan behavior and public reactions to celebrities. Media experts quote, a moment of sincerity from a star has the power to break down barriers. For Jamie, he received messages from young fans and parents who taught him that they used the video as a lesson in empathy. He was invited on a talk show to talk about celebrity and feeling misunderstood. There, he shared, that moment made me understand, the public doesn't need me to be perfect, they just need me to be me. Personal perspective. After that, Jamie spent more time big lesson, about empathy, about looking at others without the scent of conclusions. Little details I imagined to make the story more real. The interview was on a light rainy afternoon in London. Jamie walked in with a grey tweed coat, a scarf, his hair slightly wet from the rain. When the girl asked, a little scent of water fell from his hair to his collar, but he didn't wipe it off, just looked at her. He looked at the girl's hand holding the ticket tightly. Have you kept this ticket for a long time? He said softly. The girl blushed. Both rooms laughed softly. Then, when he answered, the camera light was lower, focusing only on his face and the girl's. The cameraman said, let's be silent for 30 seconds, and it was silent. Spiritual silence happened. No one. Strong chi. The camera rolled back slowly. When Jamie said, I used to hate myself too, his eyes looked forward to the audience, but it was as if he was looking at himself. Then he turned back to look at the girl, and then smiled softly. There was a soft noise from the back row. The girl pulled a small flower from her pocket, like a wildflower, and looked at Jamie and said, remembering you is beautiful. Jamie took the flower, who waited for a moment to settle, kissed it gently and put it in his pocket. The audience stood still. After the interview was over, the girl ran out of the waiting room. Jamie followed, and rode down and whispered, you were brave enough to ask that question. Thank you so much. The girl blushed and said, imagine, just wanted to understand. Jamie looked at her. His eyes were worried and warm at the same time. He said, priority has helped me understand better. And then they said goodbye.